It's been a while since we've shown the Forester a little bit of love, but as of last time, we added all the fuel system stuff. We've got a ton more wiring done. We got exhaust AVCS working with the Link ECU. We've got to retime it though, because this is an EJ20X. This is the flex fuel wiring that's still not done yet, but all this wiring needs to get attached to the ECU. Then I'll take it all back out and clean it all back up. We've got the water meth pump kind of hanging out here right now, and now we've got the intercooler. The problem with Subarus is that their face is really short, so I've got a guaranteed bash bar that's going to go in here, and then we actually pulled this intercooler out from my Datsun here, and we're going to use it on this to get this all situated. So we're going to start working on building intercooler piping and get a front mount intercooler in the sucker, and then we'll call it a day on this one. So we have a little bit of free time, so we got my Forester back in, and we've got a host of upgrades. So I'm removing the rotated turbo setup in favor of a regular old TD04. And there's a reason why, and we'll get to that a little bit later. But so right now we've got a couple parts from PLM. We have the PLM equal linked header, and then we've got the PLM externally wastegated up pipe. And then we've got a couple lines and fittings that hopefully will work out. I'm not 100% sure. I hope they do though. But so we're gonna go ahead and remove my rotated setup with the Pulsar turbo and swap over to all this other stuff here. Okay, so all the rotated turbo stuff is off. The TD04 stuff is on. So what we don't have though is we don't have coolant lines hooked up to the turbo at this point. We don't have the right fittings to do so. So I went ahead and just tossed them in. Fortunately enough, on Subaru turbos, especially after you've gone to AN lines, they're pretty easy to remove. There's no downpipe yet, just because that, well, we don't have a downpipe yet. But the factory turbo is on. The factory wastegate is still on. We've got to delete this here because it's got the external, and the external is kind of sitting down here, as you guys can see. So that's all done. We just got to bolt up the dump tube, and then we'll be good. So now that is done, once the guys get back from lunch, I'll go ahead and give it its first official test fire on the TD04, and just to make sure that we don't have any oil leaks or anything like that. Now, we don't have the intake pipe for the turbo. There's no intake pipe running through here, and we're gonna leave that off for now. The car's on standalone ECU, so it doesn't need a MAF, so it's no big deal. I'm gonna go ahead and raise the car up. That way you guys can see our sweet equal link headers now. All right, so here's the PLM header. Looks like my car's got a little bit of an oil leak somewhere. Probably the front main seal, most likely. Anyways, so the PLM header is on. The good news is that since it's leaking oil, we know it's got oil in it. And again, because we're on a standalone, we're not using the factory O2 sensor anymore, so we're gonna go ahead and unplug that. O2 bung here is gonna have to get tightened up. And then, as you can see, the external gate is on. It's not tightened yet because we've got to get this dump tube on. So we got to get the dump tube lined up and put on. And if memory serves, it should sit something like that. So we're gonna go ahead, and looks like we'll have to move the fittings on the wastegate to get it pushed over, and then we'll get the external on. Okay, so as you can see, we got the Forester out. It's currently open downpipe at the moment, but the charge pipe is basically done. We need to add the blow-off valve, but everything's a really tight space here. On this side of the charge pipe, the biggest thing that I've always had issues with other Subarus has always been the oil filter. So fortunately with the Forester, the motor's a little bit lower than chassis, and I'm able to run the pipe up and over. So it's definitely making some boost. I can feel air coming out of the IAT hole. So it's definitely all together. It's now we just wait on the downpipe, but we needed to get the car out so we had some space on the inside. So I'm super stoked on it. The crazy thing is that even at idle, the car sounds way different. Obviously with the turbo, but really I think it's the equal linked header. Obviously we know that the Subaru rumble is gone, but it's like, it sounds way better even with the open downpipe, honestly, in my opinion. So super stoked about that. So let's go ahead and drive the Forester out the way, and turbo noises sound freaking insane. turbo noises. Uh-oh. Yay! Okay, cool. Alright, so on the Forester, we got quite a bit of it done. And the only thing that we're waiting on now is actually finding a downpipe. So you can see all the charge piping is done. We've got a lot of things deleted. There's still a ton of cleanup and wiring that needs to be done, but as you can see, it's mostly there. So the only thing that we're waiting on now is a downpipe. We've got the wastegate block off here for the TD04, and as you can see, the external is down there. So we've got the equal length header, and as you can see, we've got a couple other body mods here. So I actually found a sport front lip here at a junkyard a few hours away, so I grabbed that. I've got a sport grill as well, and then yeah, so once we get this all together, we'll get this all back and we'll start testing it. And so for those, so if you guys are new here or haven't seen the Forester in one of our builds, this is actually my personal car here. And this car here, we did a 6-speed swap, EJ20X. It's on a Link standalone. And I used to actually have a rotated turbo, and I've actually went back to a smaller TD04 turbo, just because that with the rotated turbo, I would get spool at about 4,000 RPMs, but it would pull all the way up to 8. But in an SUV driving around in town, it's just not good for that. It's just hard to drive, so I went back to a smaller turbo. Now that we're on a Link ECU, I've wired in the exhaust AVCS and a couple other sensors, flex fuel and stuff like that. Now what I would like to talk about is that when I did this swap, there was that whole ordeal about, you know, whether you should retard the exhaust timing or not, and I actually did that. So I retarded the exhaust timing to 2 degrees. This is before, you know, people were making block offs and stuff like that. And so what I would like to do is get this all together, and we're gonna go strap it down on the dyno and see what it makes. And since I'm on the Link, I can adjust the timing. I've got to see if I can advance the timing since we retarded it. If not, if I'm not able to, then what will happen is I will literally pull all the timing stuff back out, set it to 0, and then we'll go and actually test, you know, if retarding the exhaust timing actually makes sense, because there was just so much hearsay and there was no real definite answer on whether you should or should not do it. But like I said, super stoked on where things are going with this car. And it's crazy because out of all the crazy cars that I've owned, this is like one of my favorites. I don't know why, but it just is. Anyways, so enough about that. Hopefully we'll get this going sooner than later there.